Alright, creeps. It is day 77 of my speaking challenge. I've been playing Minecraft every day while I practice speaking. Because growing up, I stumbled over my words and kind of... Whoa. That was a weird glitch. I was labeled a shy kid, and I never enjoyed talking to people I didn't know. So I've been doing this to try to work on that. And by creating this challenge, I've been trying to build something here. And I'd be lying if I said I didn't want it to be successful, to make money, to go viral, things like that. But I've been thinking about what happens when the thing that could make you successful conflicts with the person that you want to be. So if doing the questionable thing would guarantee me 1 million views, would I do it? So today I'm going to give you 3 hypothetical dilemmas. I want you to think through them with me, maybe help me think through them, and decide what you would do. So let's call the first one the copycat. Now, I'm definitely guilty of this. And a lot of YouTube advice out there is like, copy this exact blueprint if you want to see success, if you want views. But I guess this is an interesting debate. Because is it ethical to take somebody's work and call it your own? Like I said, I've definitely been guilty of this. I've copied thumbnails, I've copied titles. But here's the hypothetical situation for this. Let's say you come across a creator who makes similar views to you. And you know that you could essentially make the same video and do better. Maybe just a better thumbnail, better video quality. Would you do it? Would you copy them? Call it your own? This is an interesting debate, I think. There's a lot of nuance that goes into it. Because I guess we'd have to define what it would be to copy. So there's different ranges of perspectives here. I think that you could maybe be inspired by somebody's video, by somebody's topic, and make it your own. Perhaps you would find that totally ethically fine. And some people would even go as far as to copy them verbatim. And they have no problem with that. And what about the situation where maybe you come up with your own original idea and later come to find out that somebody else has already done that? I don't think that you could be considered copying them because you didn't know about it. Like, as far as you knew, you were coming up with that own idea for yourself. I've done that before. In fact, I'm doing a series where I do a Minecraft Forever world with my 3-year-old daughter. And I had a few comments saying that LD's Shadow Lady was doing something similar to that. I had no clue. I don't follow her. But I guess I looked it up and she's doing a Forever world. I guess it's dedicated to her daughter because she's too young to even play Minecraft yet. And as far as I'm concerned, that's not the same thing because I'm actually playing with my daughter, but whatever. But But I think nowadays it's hard to come up with your own original ideas because basically everything's been done. There's nothing new under the sun, pretty much. You could add your own unique perspective to it and maybe a new twist, a new take. But I think it's going to be kind of hard to come up with very original ideas. But is it considered unethical to copy someone? And how far can you go to copy them? Like I said, there's a lot of advice out there that says if you want to get discovered, then make videos like other people are making. Make videos that are doing well for them. But I think as long as you put your own twist to it, your own unique take on it, and don't copy somebody verbatim, that can be fine. I mean, we can't be scared to not make any content just because it might exist out there. But at the same time, now that I've been creating for a while, it doesn't feel so good when people take your own original ideas and copy them. It's like, hey, I put the work into coming up with that. It just seems kind of icky for somebody to steal that and to find success off of it. I don't know. What do you guys think? It's kind of a tricky topic. I mean, growing up in school, like, you definitely weren't allowed to copy each other's homework. Because then how would you learn? If you just copied and didn't learn it for yourself, do the work, you're actually doing yourself a disservice by copying and not learning for yourself. Alright, my second dilemma. Let's call it the almost lie, the half-truth. Now, another thing with content creation is there's so much out there that we want to get people's attention. We want to stand out and get clicks, get views. And I think a lot of people, when they're creating content, will exaggerate, maybe stretch the truth, maybe even lie with their thumbnail or title, and it's not actually what their content is about, but they get clicks because they can exaggerate something or make it more dramatic than it actually is. And yeah, maybe that gets them more views. Maybe that gets people to click on it. But if you don't deliver, then those people, you won't gain trust with your viewers and they won't return. But maybe it still works for them because they get the one-time viewers and they can go viral with that video. So here's the scenario. If you have a video that probably deserves 50,000 views, and you know that you can exaggerate it, exaggerate the title, the thumbnail, by making people think that something more dramatic happened, you could get it to, let's say, 500,000 views. Would you do it? You're not technically lying, are you? I guess it depends, like I said. But I think, like I also said, you're at risk for creating distrust with your viewers if you don't deliver. So maybe there's a fine line that we have to walk in order to make our thumbnails or titles appealing and get clicks and views, but also if you believe in any morality and ethics, I don't think we should be lying to get those views. Maybe some of you don't care. You just want to get. There's people out there that. Why is there? It's so glitchy. Need to update. There's people out there that don't care. They just want clicks and views, no matter what. It doesn't. They're willing to sacrifice whatever morals. But what do you think? What do you think is the line there with exaggeration and being dramatic in order to get views? Reality TV does this a lot, don't they? They love to exaggerate the drama and put the footage together in a way that maybe didn't even happen in real life, but they know it'll get way more views if they paint a person in a certain way, or if they splice it together in a way that is out of context and didn't really happen. I have a problem with that. That's not truthful. And like I said, if you're willing to sacrifice your morals in order to find success, then that's, I don't think, a very good place to be. And I think our world would do a lot better if we didn't think like that. What do you guys think? That's not the kind of world that I want to bring my kids up in. I don't want to teach them those kinds of things. And it's so easy to cut corners, isn't it? Like, nobody'll know. But you'll know. And you have to live with that. Alright, so my final scenario. This is perhaps the biggest one of all, I guess. Let's call it the 1,000,000 views. Let's say you're guaranteed 1,000,000 views on your next video. But there is one catch. You have to do something that you personally believe is morally questionable. Would you do it? I don't know what you would find morally questionable. Maybe that's making fun of somebody, using footage of somebody without their permission. Lying, cheating, being disingenuous. Would you do it if you knew you were guaranteed 1,000,000 views and it might change your life and bring you a lot of success and money? How about this? I think a lot of us would say, oh no, I wouldn't do that. I wouldn't, you know, sacrifice my morals in that way. How about if nobody knew about it? What if nobody knew that you're sacrificing your morals? Then would you do it? That's tricky. I think a lot of us would struggle with that because you're like, well, that would totally change my life. That kind of success, that kind of money, it would change my family's life. And so maybe I sacrifice just a little bit of wrong to do a lot of good. But that's tricky. I think we need more real integrity in this world. And that is doing the right thing even when nobody's watching. And I'm not trying to act like I'm all high and mighty and I never do this, because I've definitely sacrificed my integrity. I've definitely taken the easy way when I shouldn't have. I think we're all human and we're all guilty of this. I don't know, I've just been thinking about these things, especially after becoming a content creator. Because it's so easy to want to take the easy way. People want to get rich quick. They want to find success, and they're willing to sacrifice their own morals in order to do it. Whether that's copying somebody or stretching the truth, let's be honest, lying, or sacrificing their morality in some other way. Whatever that may be. I think we could all probably think of creators that do this. Mr. Beast. I guess maybe he is doing a lot of good by giving money to people, but is it taking advantage of people who are desperate? I don't know. Is he doing it just so he can be the best creator out there? I don't know, but he'll have to answer for that someday. And so will all of we. We will all have to answer for the decisions that we make in our life. The decisions that nobody else knows about, that nobody else sees. But that, I can tell you right now, even if you don't believe in God, you still have to answer for every one of your thoughts and decisions someday. Maybe some of you will disagree with me on that, but hey, if he does exist, you're gonna have to answer for that, whether you believe it or not. But it's tricky. And I find myself, like I said, in those moral quandaries sometimes. And so I'm making this video to stay accountable. Because yeah, I would love to be successful in this channel. But I don't want to sacrifice the kind of person that I want to be, the kind of person that I want my kids to be. So let me know what you think down in the comments about these dilemmas. I'd love to discuss it with you guys. Like I said, there can be some nuances for sure. But thank you guys so much for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.